Greetings, friends. This is Oleh Ivchenko, head of Pareto Company. You are watching a new episode of Pareto Point, a program about professional asset valuation and decisions that impact business and finance. January traditionally sets the tone for the entire year. It is during this period that market expectations are formed, approaches to work are revised, and trends begin to emerge. Today in our episode, the compensation mechanism for destroyed business property has come into effect in Ukraine, how the investment value of medical AI platforms is growing. We analyze the OpenEvidence case from the USA and January as an indicator of annual asset value trends on the stock market. Let's get started. As of January 1st, 2026, a mechanism for partial compensation for businesses for property damaged or destroyed as a result of the war has come into effect in Ukraine. This concerns compensation for the value of property and partial reimbursement of insurance premiums under contracts covering war-related risks. Individual entrepreneurs and legal entities, except for state and municipal enterprises, can use this mechanism. A mandatory requirement is the presence of a property valuation report that confirms the amount of direct damage. At the same time, the claimed amount cannot exceed the actual value of the property. The payment of compensation in non-cash form is carried out by the authorized private joint stock company, Export Credit Agency. Our company specialists can assist with assessing the amount of such damages and preparing the necessary documentation. At Pareto, we have practical experience working with such cases. The American medical AI startup OpenEvidence was valued at $12 billion in January 2026, which is twice as much as just a few months earlier. Back in October of last year, these figures stood at $6 billion. The company develops specialized tools using artificial intelligence for doctors, which help them work with clinical guidelines and scientific publications. According to OpenEvidence, more than 40% of doctors in the United States use the service daily. The company's tools have been adopted in more than 10,000 hospitals and medical centers. In December of last year, the platform supported around 18 million clinical consultations. A key factor in the company's increased valuation was the scale of actual service usage. This sparked the interest of investors. The total amount of investment in the company has reached about $700 million. January has long been considered a significant month on the stock markets. It is associated with a hypothesis known as the January Barometer. It was first formulated by financial analyst Yale Hirsch. The essence of the idea is simple. The way the market behaves in January often reflects the trend for the entire year. Historical data on the S&P 500 index show that from 1950 to 1984, January's results truly had predictive significance. If the market rose in January, the probability of growth by the end of the year was high. If it fell, the decline often continued. However, starting from the second half of the 1980s, January's role as an indicator began to diminish. In the period up to 2010, negative signals in January essentially lost their predictive power. Despite this, January still remains the month that investors closely watch to gauge market sentiment at the start of the year. Friends, thank you for being with us. If you found this information useful, please support the video with likes and share it with those who might also find it interesting. Let us know in the comments which events and markets you would like us to cover next time. And for those who want to receive even more useful information, I recommend subscribing to our newsletter on LinkedIn and to the Pareto Company blog updates. The links will be in the description. See you in the next episode of Pareto Point.